Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Folge 16 von Highway Blossoms. In der letzten Folge haben Amber und Marina das sogenannte Angels Landing besucht, das Amber immer mit ihrem Großvater besteigen wollte. Den Aufstieg haben sie geschafft, leider war es aber super nebelig und es gab nichts zu sehen dadurch. Amber war sehr enttäuscht, Marina auch ein bisschen, außerdem waren die beiden immer noch etwas awkward vom Ende der Folge davor. Am Ende saßen sie aber zusammen um ein Lagerfeuer herum, haben sich super verstanden, Marshmallows gegrillt und waren am Ende beide glücklich. Und wir machen weiter am nächsten Tag. The engine dies. I can still hear the power buzzing before it surges down, leaving us with the ambience of the settling motorhome.
We're here.
Not a lot of cars here, huh?
Guess the rest of the world just hasn't caught up yet.
That won't last for long. Any day now, people will figure out it's here, and an army of would-be treasure hunters will be swarming this place, drooling at the chance to find gold. The last of the gold. Aber das weiß ja niemand, hehe. There's a fluttering in my chest, and I tighten my grip on the wheel. It's the end of our adventure.
I bet our names have spread across the land and struck fear into the hearts of our rivals, giving them no other choice but to call it quits.
Abgesehen davon, dass niemand davon weiß.
Yeah. Or maybe someone already came through and found the treasure.
Oh, jetzt sei mal nicht so Depri.
What? Don't say something scary like that.
Still wrapped around the wheel, my clammy hands start shaking. Marina takes note, looking over with sympathetic eyes.
Hey.
She takes her hand and gently places it on top of mine, giving it a reassuring squeeze. I let both fall into my lap. She's warm.
We're doing this together, okay?
The flutters tickle the inside of my chest until I can't help smiling.
Right. Let's do it.
Regretfully, I force out a nod and pull my hand out from Marina's. It feels wrong, like throwing away a precious gift. Reaching into the console, I retrieve the journal for what may be the last time. It's well loved. A bent spine, wrinkled pages, and folded corners on the flimsy paper cover. Looking back, it's been getting roughed up since the moment we got it, ever since that weird station attendant let Marina have it for free way back at the Traveler's store. Hard to believe this cheap thing was the roadmap to something so valuable. Ich mag die Musik. Okay, ich habe keine Ahnung. Taking a deep breath, I skim over the final entry. After several days of travel, I believe I have finally arrived at my first destination. It is well known I have an astute eye for locations. After all, this is how I found my precious bounty, so it is no mistake that I easily found the perfect hiding place within this valley. Ach ja, The Valley of Fire war das, ne? Jetzt erinnere ich mich. Den Eintrag hat sie schon gelesen, oder? I arrived on horseback at the blistering peak of noon. Looking for shelter from the coming night, I began noticing something different, something distinct. Crimson. All of it. Shades lighter than pink and darker than blood. Was? Heller als pink, aber dunkler als was? The color stained it all. From giant unmovable stones to the tiniest grains of sand. It was as if the land had absorbed the sun's heat and reflected it outwards. Even at sunset, the cave I settled in emanated a bright red glow that speckled out from its opening. That night, as I laid on the ground watching the flames of my fire shoot up to the cave's roof, I wondered if there were more places like this out in this unsettled land. During my travels on the trail, I was too preoccupied with preparations to observe the world around me. But now that I have achieved success, maybe I shall. It would be a shame if my superb observational skills went to waste.
Windstone Arch.
Windstone Arch. Schon wieder Arch. It's probably the vaguest entry so far, but I can feel it. It has to be there. I slapped the journal shut and lay it to rest in the center console, right next to all the cassette tapes. Marina and I look at each other, now sharing the same piercing determination.
All right, Let's get this show on the road.
Selbst so haben sie schon die Hälfte der Schätze gefunden. Also, good job so far. Because of the lack of crowds, getting around is a lot easier than usual, allowing us to take in the scenery for once, instead of slogging through zombified hordes. Even though there's not many people around, it somehow feels fuller here. Everywhere we walk, we're surrounded by layered dunes and sandstones, towering over us, striped with faded reds and calico browns. Somehow, we do eventually manage to find the Windstone Arch. Unlike the arches back in Utah, it isn't big and majestic. It's not a giant upside-down horseshoe that lords over us as we look on in awe. It's not even an arch as much as it is a cave, really. Just a jagged, overgrown rock with a few crevices big enough for a person to enter. Still, despite the fact that it doesn't compare to the size or grandeur of everything else we've seen together so far, and despite that it hardly took us any time at all to find it, it's still imposing. The longer I stare at it, the bigger it gets, like it's judging us. It isn't calling into question our abilities, or even if we can find it. It's gauging us to see if we're ready. Sehr philosophisch, Amber. Are we? I look over to Marina. A small bulge forms in her throat before she swallows it back down. Is she? I return my gaze to the arch, asking the same questions over and over in my head. Am I? Ready for what? Oh Gott, nein. Schlechter Zusammenhang. Ready for the end of your adventure, oder worum geht's? Finally, we look to each other. Marina readies the metal detector strapped to her back and gives me a nod, which I return. Even if we aren't ready, even this is the worst mistake of my life. This is something both of us have to do. The worst mistake of my life. Jetzt überdramatisiert sie aber ein bisschen, glaube ich. Our steps in sync, we march over the rocks and desert shrubs before crouching into the cavern. Das sieht nice aus. Sunlight squeezes into the cave, dyeing the rock columns neon red. Marina begins scanning with the metal detector, listening intently for a beep. The narrow space forces us to huddle together as we heave our way through the arch, repeatedly brushing against each other. At first it's accidental, but I find myself craving it more. Okay. To get closer. To feel her. To watch as her hair absorbs the brilliant glow of the cave. I'm deprived of all of that though, as her metal detector vibrates in her hand, making a low rumble. She takes out the headphones and points to the wall.
There.
In der Wand. Habt ihr auch Spitzhacken dabei? I avert my gaze and move past her, taking a knee as I slip the bag off my shoulder and pull out a mandrel pick. Okay. Careful not to hit her, I start chiseling away at the rock. Ich kann mir null vorstellen, wie man mit einer Spitzhacke Fels klein schlägt. Ich kann es mir wirklich nicht vorstellen. Also Fels ist halt so. Fels? Da kannst du machen, was du willst. Wie kriegst du den klein? Soon the crack in the wall grows and small pebbles and gravel start flying off. I reposition myself and block Marina from getting hit by any of it. The small portion of the wall crumbles away and after a few more strikes reveals a hollow space, just big enough to squeeze your hand into. Whew. This is gonna suck if some creepy thing's gone and made its home in there. Oof. Shuddering, I reach into the space and feel something square and wooden. With some budging, it comes free and easily slides out. A box. Das ging diesmal erstaunlich einfach und unkompliziert. Its familiarity is expected, but it doesn't stop my heart from leaping any less. Nor Marina's, who squeaks out a gasp.
Ready?
This time she barely nods, unsure of what to say, but like ripping off a bandage, I swing the lid open before she can give any real answer. Nuggets. A pile of them, filled from top to bottom, all misshapen and morphed. The sight isn't anything new, but this time it feels different. It's like for the first time, the reality has finally sunk in and everything up until now has been a haze. We both just stare at it, An entire universe of thoughts race through my mind, yet it all comes up blank.
What now?
Yeah. It's directed more towards myself than Marina, but it's the first thing I managed to spit out, and ultimately, the most important. Marina doesn't answer at first, instead just tilting her head, trying to process the question. But finally, she gives a simple smile.
I saw a sign for a trail on the way over here. Why don't we go hiking?
Das finde ich gut. Das finde ich richtig gut. Hiking? I freeze for a second, then laugh under my breath. The more I think about it, the simplicity behind her words, the more I laugh until I border on sounding like a hysterical madman.
Hiking? For real?
I keep laughing, struggling to keep it together, even after I start having even after I start having trouble breathing. Poor Marina isn't in on the joke though, and within a matter of seconds, her face goes from confusion to concern, then pouting.
I don't know why you're laughing. I was being serious, you know?
Settling down, I wipe a fake tear from my eye, an occasional chuckle still managing to break through.
No, I know you were.
Then what's so funny?
Nothing, just...
I finally regain complete composure and smile at her.
Yeah, sure. Let's go hiking. That sounds nice.
Oh, dieser Smug-Blick dazu.
Can you please keep to the signs?
I will. Stop being such a worrywart.
Marina skips through the sand, gleefully oblivious that her trail is a badly marked patch of dirt over the plains of the Mojave.
That's what you said last time. If you're not careful, we're gonna get lost. Again.
Ooh.
Aw, you didn't like those old cabins we found?
Exploration kann so spannend sein, ja?
It gets old after the second time, Mare.
Oof. It kills daylight too. The sun has faded to orange and will soon sink out of view. Oh. There's no way we're getting back before dark. Oh. Ooh. Oof. But hey, maybe that's not such a bad thing. We've already found the treasure, so spending some time with Marina is a nice reward.
So, about this fire wave thing.
Was?
And yes, I know it's not an ocean of lava, smarty pants.
Damn, I must be running out of material.
I mean, it's so cool. Well, it's hot, I guess. But what is it?
What's the fire wave? It's a, windy thing that winds around rocks and stuff and looks like fire.
Okay, what?
At least, I think that's what it was.
Is that something... Do I hear something that Amber does not know?
Oh?
A devilish grin slings onto Marina's face, and she attaches herself to me like Velcro, nudging my shoulders. War Velcro das mit dem Klettverschluss? Ich glaube, das war zu dem Klettverschluss. Ey, ich lerne auch richtig Englisch hier durch.
You don't know what it is either, do you?
What? Do so.
Her grin grows until I force myself to look away. She's not gonna get the satisfaction.
I've seen pictures.
Oh, you've seen pictures? What sort of pictures?
Ihre Betonung ist so geil.
You know, the picture-y kind.
What? I can just feel her reveling in this. For the first time, she's got me playing right into her hands.
Oh, shut up.
I feel a slap against my wrist, then a tug. Looking down, I see Marina's bright dimples shining through her round cheeks.
Why don't we find out together?
I'm stunned. It's a position we've been in before, but it's supposed to be the other way around. I'm always pulling her. That's my job. But now it's her smooth fingers locked around my wrist, her fingernails grazing above my skin. The realization doesn't even have time to sink in before she propels herself forward with me in tow.
Hey, wait! Hold on!
I kick up sand and grit as I'm practically dragged along by Marina, who meets my helps with silence. Determination. Then she halted quickly as she took off, leaving me to shoot forward and stumble to a stop.
You could at least warn me before ya.
Ja, letztes Mal hast du das auch nicht gemacht. I go silent. Marina does too. The fire wave. Swirling ribbons of red wrap around the hillside and stretch out to the horizon. The setting sun casts light and shadow across the ground and sky, shading it all with intense golds, pinks, and purples. As the sky dims, a shred of stray light passes over the shade and shines directly on us. Directly on Marina. She stares on, silent. I can feel every glint of emotion coming from her. Every breath taken away. Every raw feeling that builds up inside her only to be choked back down. All of it. I glance between her and the scene stretched out before us. The pockets of sky with their deep, vivid colors are beautiful, but the choice is easy. I fixate on Marina. Her clear, sweet blue eyes. Her cute round cheeks. Her lips as they quiver ever so slightly. Laying a hand on her shoulder, I turn her towards me and softly touch her cheek. Her mouth slips open with a faint gasp, but all it takes is a gentle stroke of her face for that uncertainty to be wiped away. Marina holds my gaze. My eyes relax and I step closer, so I can feel the warmth of her body against mine. Then I lean in and press my lips to hers. So soft. I keep myself pressed against her, letting my lips move with a natural flow. But she doesn't press back. Afraid, I pull away, but before I can step back, she pulls me closer and lets her lips melt into mine. I let the pattern take control. Our mouths move inside each other, full of tender caution as we ease in. We repeat the process infinitely. Bathed in the light of sunset, the two of us exchange something. I eventually pull back, unsure of what to say and scared of what I could. We turn back to find the last rays of sunlight slipping behind the sand. Something brushes against my hand, tickling for a moment before intertwining between my fingers. Her grip is loose, but I wrap my fingers around so that I'm holding her firmly. We watch the last of the light drift into a peaceful evening. Together.
It's pretty.
Yeah.